One of the most vital parts of being a successful real estate investor is having the right kind of insurance that suits your needs. A lot of people often overlook this as a real estate investor or landlord. And what happens if you get sued and you have no liability insurance? What happens if you have a hurricane that strikes your home and you have no flood insurance? What happens if a fire burns down the property and you have no fire insurance? These are all very real things that happen every single day of the week. So let's make sure that you're protected. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about 10 types of insurance for landlords and property investors. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Tap the bell icon and get notified of the next one. Thank you. Okay team, let's take a closer look at this. And before we begin, I want to share a pro tip with you. Always contact an insurance agent about what kind of insurance policies are best for you to have as a real estate investor, as a landlord, and as a rental property owner in your area. It's critically important to ensure that you have the right kind of coverage in your area and your circumstances for your business model. Okay, so let's go ahead and review the 10 different types of insurance that we're going to talk about in today's episode. The first type that you want to have is hazard and fire insurance for the physical property. It's very important to always have hazard and fire insurance, and it is always needed, and in some cases it may be required if you have a loan on that property. The second type is to have liability insurance. Liability insurance is always needed. You can purchase liability insurance for the physical property as well as your actual business. You may want to have one separate just for the physical property and one separate for your business in the case that a renter got crazy or something happens and you got sued, and you want to have that liability insurance to protect you and your business. The third one that you want to have is a sewer backup insurance. Sewers are often one of those things that we really forget about until they pop up and they start smelling up a property, and now we're thinking, you know what happened here, and then you realize that sewer pipe to get fixed is a hunk of money. So you want to have a sewer backup insurance. It is needed, and it can be added to your hazard and fire insurance policy at a minimal cost, so you might as well throw it in there just as a good measure. The fourth type of insurance is flood insurance for the physical property. It's very important to ensure that you have flood insurance. If you don't have it and the area gets hit by a hurricane, or the area is prone to flooding, has a really big storm, and a river breaks its banks and it's flooding your property, if you don't have this, your normal insurance is probably not going to cover you. So you want to make sure that you have a special rider, special provision just for flood insurance, just in case it happens. If you're in a flood prone area, it's best practice to have it done to make sure that you can replace your property. By the way, I'd like to throw it in there, make sure that you're always getting like a replacement value, not a cost of value in your insurance. A replacement value is going to essentially rebuild your property brick for brick. So it's important to know that and have that conversation with your insurance agent, okay? As a side note, if you're in an earthquake prone area, you might also want to talk to your insurance agent about any special riders or provisions for earthquakes that can also further protect you and limit your liabilities. The fifth type is terrorism insurance. Now this one's kind of interesting because, hey, you know, it's just the day and age that we live in. Terrorism is a real thing, and terrorism insurance is only needed if you're worried about a possible act of terror that could cause damage to your property. If you're unconcerned with that, then you wouldn't need it. But places like New York or places like a big city where we know terrorists have previously attacked, then it might be a good idea to carry terrorism insurance if that's your situation and that's what you want to do. Now the sixth type is builder's risk insurance. Builder's risk insurance is only needed if you purchase a vacant or mostly vacant property and you're deciding to renovate that property. Due to the increased risk of vandalism, since it's vacant or at least is mostly vacant, property damage and contractors slip and falls, properties that fall into this category will not usually qualify for normal hazard and fire insurance or liability policies. So you'll need to talk to your insurance agent to provide you with an insurance through secondary market. Now if you're wondering what the secondary market is or a good one to turn to, try Lloyd's of London. It's one of the largest and secondary insurance providers out there, and the type of insurance is typically 2 to 4 times more costly than a normal hazard and fire insurance or liability policies. Yet if you need it, it's there for you and it's going to help protect you while you're renovating that property. The seventh type is loss of income insurance. Now this is a kicker. It's really important to have something in case something happens to our situation, we lose our income, and we need to be able to cover our debts and cover our ability to maintain our lifestyle and our investments, right? So loss of income insurance is only needed if you're a landlord who owns an investment property that you're renting to tenants. Investors who flip a property with the intention of selling it don't typically need this kind of insurance, but if you are a landlord and you are renting to tenants, it could be a very good thing to have in case one of your tenants up and leave, or you're not collecting rent on that unit, it stays vacant for an extended amount of time and it starts damaging it. Loss of income insurance is usually added to your hazard and fire insurance policy at an additional cost. Talk to your insurance agent and just to have that provision made for you, okay? Now the eighth type is a general contractor insurance. Now general contractor insurance is needed if you decide to become a licensed general contractor so that you could pull out your own permits for any renovations or for your rental properties that you're looking for. It's something good to have. It's further insulation for you with your insurance. Now the ninth one is workers' compensation compensation insurance. You might want to consider worker compensation insurance if you have employees such as a superintendent, a maintenance worker, or a receptionist, or even if you're hiring contractors and allow them to work under your insurance policy. There's a lot of different people that could come into play underneath the workers' compensation, even if you had an on-site manager, even if you had an on-site handyman. This kind of insurance may be beneficial to you if you have employees. Now, the 10th one is an umbrella policy. An umbrella policy isn't actually ever really needed. It's just a really darn good idea to have as an additional liability protection just in case something happened. It's kind of that just in case. It's just a caveat, the icing on the cake, and it can make a huge difference if you ever got sued, if you ever had a really big loss. There's so many things that an umbrella policy can cover for you. They are more expensive, so you want to talk to your insurance agent. So in today's episode, we've reviewed 10 different types of insurance for landlords and rental property investors. The next step is up to you, and that's contacting an insurance agent to review your situation, your plans, and ensure that you have the appropriate coverage for your rental properties and investments. Go ahead and make that happen today. You'll be glad that you did. This list is by no means exhaustive, so your insurance agent will be a wealth of information to share all your different options with you to ensure that you have the right coverage to protect you, your loved ones, and your business. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and tell us what you're thinking about this episode in the comment section below and share your tips about what kind of insurances are best for rental property investors and landlords at large. Thank you. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information. If you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, or if you need help finding a top agent where you live, please let me know. Always love to hear from you. Always here to help you. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help, because someone just like you, and I'm sure you could think of just one, really should know more about insurance that owns property. Please share it with them and get them pointed in the right direction today. Thank you. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching today, team, and enjoy an amazing day.